Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Doom is one of those heroes that it seems like it's going to be their, I call it their one wood, the thing that they go to a lot at the Animajor, which, what is it, about a week and a bit away? So
Yeah.
exciting to see how Execration do on the
Radiant
global
team
stage. They'll be
pick.
up against some pretty
Here
hard
I
teams in
am.
that wild card, Team Secret being one of them, of course. So it's definitely a big challenge for them. But SMG, they're going to look to respond with the Mirana coming through here. I mean, it's okay. I feel like they're putting a lot of faith into the Elder Titan being able to get off some big stuns here, and as well, just being able to
Five
perhaps deal
seconds
with something
remaining.
like the clockwork. He's going to hook in, he's going to cog someone. You've still got some form of escape, of course, with your leap, but even
Dire
just being able to
team
fire
pick.
your arrow in onto the clockwork when he does commit can be quite nice. Now, with the Morphling though, right now, the Mirana, yes, she is a vessel builder, and it's going to be nice, of course, against the Doom, high HP pool. The Morphling speaks for itself, and the Phoenix Sunray
10
as well. So
seconds
you really need a
remaining.
way to start reducing the healing and
Five
the HP
seconds
pulls for a lot
remaining.
of these heroes. And Mirana is one of them, of course, but you need something that's going to guarantee that you're getting kills in the
Dire
actual
team
laning
back.
stage. So let's see what they go
Ember
for. It's an Ember
Spirit.
Spirit. It's not the laning stage so much, but it's still a very active core that's able to start rotating, get those charges building up into the urn. So you would think that it's going to be the position 3 that SMG are going to leave until last. But I mean, it's KP, right? And I can't remember the last time I've seen KP
10
play something like a
seconds
Sand King,
remaining.
something that is high kill potential in the laning phase. It's
5
much more
seconds
about just
remaining.
surviving, getting a good amount of farm, and then using that relatively good amount of farm to bait team fights quite heavily.
How do you feel about the Ember actually getting picked up though? Like I know it is one of Nia's strongest heroes, but we see a lot of time the Morphling is the one played. Would you actually draft against the Ember Spirit to go in that lane matchup? So is this just SMG
Radiant
don't really
team
care about
back.
the lane matchup, but they want at least maybe a setup for the root and someone to play active?
I suppose, but maybe they were just in all the times that we talked to them during the DPC season when we were casting the lower division, we always asked them like, "Oh, did you prepare anything specific to
10
this team?" And they were
seconds
like,
remaining.
"No, no, we didn't really care. We didn't watch them all that much. We just played our Dota,
5
and it served them
seconds
pretty well. I
remaining.
mean, they came in second, only losing to Motivate Trust. So maybe they were just thinking a default of." Oh, it's a Morphling. It's going to be a position 1, and not even considering the fact that this may potentially be mid lane Morphling that they might have to be contesting against.
Yeah, it definitely could be that scary stage. And we get to see at least KP's hero here for the last pick. You already brought up the Sand King, which is one of the, I think, best combos with the Mirana. Do you think the Morphling kind of puts you off going for the Sand King a little bit just because of the aggressive replicate play that you can provide? I guess, like, are you.
Yeah, a little. I get what you're saying, but a big strength of having the Sand King on your team when you go the Ag Scepter is the increased cast range that you get from it. Of course, you get the bonus of having the
Dire
Aghanim
team
Scepter
back.
from the Sand King, so you've got that
Radiant
bonus range, and
team
it's really
back.
just about the initiation
Dire
portion of it.
team
Whereas if you're
pick.
going up against a Sand King, you need to wait until the team fight's actually started before you get that bonus from the Sand King. So it's not quite as strong, and you're investing 4,200 gold into an item that might not be quite as fantastic. I mean, it's basically just for the cast range at
Radiant
that point.
team pick.
And, well, they go
Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker. This is
Okay, I mean, Doom's something that likes to run people down,
definitely,
so
yeah.
decent counter to that.
It just feels like now you have a very awkward way to start fights. Like he probably goes ATOS to help with the Mirana, but now it feels like you're
10
really
seconds
reliant on like an
remaining.
Echo Stomp getting a connection or the Ember Chains to set up for these fights. And they're gonna go
Choose
into
your
Nursa,
hero.
so can definitely play the lane. Versus the Bloodseeker has got strong capabilities to take Roshan early. The carry matchup versus the Juggernaut's pretty decent as well. You do kind of get kited by that Rupture, which is the one big factor. You already brought up the Doom is kind of annoyed by that, and now the Ursa's slightly going to be hindered as well.
And it is going to be Makoto in the mid lane as well, going up against Nia. So I think this game is going to be heavily based on how that laning stage matchup goes. It is Morphling favored in general, but I feel like, you mentioned SMG, their worries with being able to start team fights. It's all going to be on Nia. He pops off when he plays this Ember Spirit. So we'll see what he's able to do with it. But unless he has a good amount of farm coming from the
10
laning stage, then
seconds
he's not
remaining.
going to be able to play that crazy style where he goes in super deep, takes away a
5
lot of the
seconds
attention
remaining.
from the rest of the team and allowing them to actually follow up.
Yeah, well, how are we feeling about this? This is game one, draft now completed between Boom and SMG to kick the tournament off. Is there a side that we're favoring here in this first game?
In terms of just pure hero picks, I'm gonna have to say Boom slightly, but I feel like SMG's form's been a little bit better, so it's pretty damn even.
Is there, I know you said Boom was your favorite here. Looking at their draft though, what is maybe one thing you're a bit worried about that they could maybe get caught out on potentially?
I mean, just if KP chooses to rupture Dreamer Cell, his effectiveness is basically going to be completely nullified. And we already talked about the Juggernaut going up against the Phoenix. You know how inconsequential that supernova is probably going to be unless Hyde gets some really nice positionings off with it, making sure. I think that might be a thing, right? Boom, they're going to be quite keen to take team fights around these choke points that allow Hyde to, get a supernova off into some nook or a cranny that means that you can't actually follow up onto the egg.
Yeah, well, what a exciting series we have to kick it off though. Like you were saying, SMG getting promoted into the upper division for whatever's going to happen in the next season of the DPC, and then we see Boom. Unfortunately, they were the ones relegated. So this is going to be an exciting matchup between these two teams to kick off our tournament here.
And what do you reckon about that? Do you think they're going to change the format for the league structure next season? I was kind of hoping that, like, if you came first in lower division and if you came last in upper division, you just swap spots. Like, you're clear first and you're clear last. But my thing was always, like, how about if second place in lower division and seventh place in upper division actually have to play, like, I don't know, a best of 5 or something like that, and then the winner actually gets to stay in the upper division. So there's a bit more. You have to earn your spot even more. I mean, it doesn't refresh the upper division quite as much, but you just look at some of these leagues and some of these teams that are getting bumped down. I mean, like in China, for example, RNG got knocked down, and they're a very strong team. So we'll see what happens through with that one.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of talk, especially around that, with the fact that teams just get instantly promoted or relegated. I think it would be, I agree with you that it's, could definitely be at least the route to go where you have a series against those, the team that's getting promoted versus the team that's getting relegated. I think it'll make it a little bit more enticing as well, just to watch and, give some more storyline to it. But, I definitely think there's things to work on. And it's beautiful how at least the first season has already kind of shaped up, and we're going to have an incredible any major and then an incredible international as well, hoping. And at least for this is some teams that unfortunately weren't able to make it to the major for the Southeast Asia region, and we still at least get to see them showcase their power. Like, these are two really, really strong teams, and we're going to get to see how they're able to fare up against each other.
We will. Unfortunately, we won't be able to get to see the power of the CEO, Moon. Even though Fnatic aren't at the major, they're still sitting this one out, perhaps just putting a little bit more value into, preparing specifically for the regional qualifiers that they now have to go through if they are to make it to TI. So we'll see. But basically, everyone else that isn't at the major is here.
Yeah, and so you take a look at the teams that are in this tournament at the moment, and there are some incredibly strong names. So it's going to be an action pack, pretty much weak group stages and then into the playoffs as well. We'll get to see these teams battle it out. But at the moment, we're speaking about the lanes, at least in regards to how it's going to be. So, they're okay. We were speaking about the lanes though, in regards to how like the mid matchup's going to be. Probably the favorite, the Morphling. How about some of the other lanes as well, like top or bot? Are there any lanes we should pay attention to?
I would say it's going to be pretty chill, at least for the very start of the game. I mean, with a Juggernaut and an Elder Titan, you don't have an insane amount of kill potential. Same sort of thing with these the Doom and the Phoenix. There's not a lot of lockdown, and as long as Rogi's not caught out without his Astral Spirit, he's going to have enough movement speed to be able to get away. He's already got the boots at the super start. So it might even be the mid lane. Maybe Makoto might be looking to get a little bit more aggressive against Nia, considering he does have the relatively stronger matchup here. No rotations yet for the water runes either, which are going to be pretty key to seeing how this one's going to turn out. Still a little bit short, both mid laners on picking up their bottle. Nia's just been able to secure his now. Might even try and steal this one away from Makoto if he can. He's going to go for the slight snatch. No. Just jukes him out a little bit here, and KP with a chat wheel as well.
It's been a little bit now since we saw the implementation of some of those team packs as well, so it's going to be nice to see, you know, some of these players with all the extra voice lines that we get, maybe even the sprays, because, you know, we were casting the first couple of days when it got implemented, and you know, some of the players hadn't picked anything up just yet.
I'm going to need to see more C teams. You know, Neon were tweeting something last night at some ungodly hour, and I happened to be awake, and I was like, where's the pack, Neon? I'm gonna need to see it. You know, I need to support the C region, and they just tagged Valve Software, so clearly they think it's all done on their end.
What was why were you up at some ungodly hours like Neon? What was going on there? You hear a little bit of WoW going on, or?
No, I've actually been playing not too much of that recently. What was I doing? I was watching like some Chinese. You ever played the board game Clue, or heard of it?
Not off the top of my head, no.
It's like a murder mystery sort of thing, like a whodunit. And yeah, there's like a show called Who's the Murderer, and I was watching that, and it's a Chinese version, which originally was a Korean show called Crime Scene. It's very good. Like, you guys should watch it. It's not in English, so there's subtitles, but it's still very fun.
Sounds like the classic staying up too late and just going down the rabbit hole of just anything on Google or, you know, YouTube rabbit hole.
Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's good old days.
Oh, there's no old days. They're happening now. These are the current days.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
To see, so
Lane's got pretty, like,
yeah.
this is chill, right? Like, this is C Dota, but this is like, you haven't drafted kill lanes for either one,
Dire's
you know?
top tower is under attack.
There's
maybe
nothing
top.
really that's going to be happening here.
Can they get him? Fire Spirit it is. FBZ actually gets it.
Oh,
Thanks to his Scorched Earth. Mid one, unfortunately, unable to get his own rebuttal there. Finally, we get to see First Blood picked up almost 4 minutes 30 into this game one here.
surprisingly enough, they were able to get it with the Phoenix only level 1 on the Fire Spirits as well. So not even getting that 30 burn DPS. Oh, sorry, 35 burn DPS coming through.
How do
Definitely
you
what you want from Boom to start the game, though. You know, you need to be able to, with this Doom, snowball. Like, you don't have a lot of wave clear potential. You're not a Mars, you're not a Centaur. You know, you actually need to fully commit to a lane in order to start pushing it out yourself. So you get a lot of your net worth from, of course, the Devour, but also immediately getting active as soon as you've got that Doom and going for kills.
Dreamer so. So if you want to chuck out the arrow here, gonna do so just yet. But it is a lot of damage dealt, even KP. He's just showing the aggressiveness in this lane against someone like an Ursa. It's not something you really expect, but you know, KP's having a great time here. 27 last hits compared to the 19 on Dreamer Cell, and is really showing up right now.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job. Surprised that, like you mentioned, that they didn't throw out the arrow there, considering, you know, the blood right was down. Pretty obvious where he was going to move to be able to avoid the silence and the damage coming through. But, you know, a lot of trading going on. KP, he's going to enjoy the fact that, you know, Makoto's sitting relatively low, so he's obviously going to have the movement speed bonus coming from this brawling style.
We're taking a look at the Doom's skill build as well. What do you think the reason is for going for just an early level at the Infernal Blade? I think at level 4 he had a 1-2-1 build.
I think one point in it is fine. You know, you're going to be able to disrupt some TPs. You're going to be able to make sure that, you know, Roger has at least a small portion where he's going to be moving a bit slower, like that Astral Spirit. It lasts for a long time when you get the buff, but at least you're going to be slowed down somewhat. I like it. Value points everywhere.
We do have this level 6 now picked up for Neo. He's actually pretty close to the level 7, in fact, so I'm very intrigued to see when the Ember Spirit is going to start thinking about making these rotations to the side lanes, because you don't really have this capability to kill off the Morphling. But one thing you do have to keep in mind is that your Morphling is a hero that kind of just wants to sit in this lane, get as much farm, and he can also do a lot of damage to the tower at a quick rate. So Ember's got to be very aware of when he makes those movements, and you see kind of Nia is prioritizing shoving out the creep wave and then maybe thinking about going to a side lane.
Yeah, even tried to, right at the 7-minute mark, take that small camp to see if he could get a neutral item to make his movement a little bit more effective here. You can see he just tosses the Remnant into the hard camp. He's going to try and, again, shove out the wave as quickly as possible and look to farm that one up, but it's not getting active just yet. He's still waiting for that first key item to come out for him.
We even see Kezcute has to TP up to the top lane here just to protect EpiZ, so that is going to leave Dreamercell solo now on the Ursa down bot. I wonder if we'll see maybe a rotation, because SMG have at least some information right now, recognizing that one of the TPs is on cooldown for the supports, and maybe they can look to punish that.
Yeah, and you just see the strength of the Morphling matchup now, right? Like, he is 1,200 gold ahead of Nia right now. And Nia is a damn good Ember Spirit player. Getting the regen rune as well just enabled him to stand there tanking the tower. So it's already at half HP at the 8-minute mark without any kind of rotations towards this mid lane. So Mikoto, for all the criticism that he copped during the DPC season, it felt like in Season 1 he was carrying Boom on his back. Season 2, not quite so much. It was Dreamercell putting in a lot of work, but Mikoto, it felt like his performance has suffered a little bit because of it. Actually get on a kill onto KP here.
Very important kill there for Dreamercell to be able to pick up, because it was kind of, you're not having as strong of a lane. He's actually the bottom of the CS right now out of all the cores, so getting him nice little influx of gold, and we actually take a look. Dreamercell, he's got the diffusal blade queued up here, so going for a lot more fast-paced action for the Ursa in this game one.
Yeah, pretty damn active, and look at how hard they're committing onto this mid tower. They're going to try and go for a kill perhaps onto Mikoto here. You've got the double damage on the Ember Spirit, but could he try and even snipe this? No, they're going to get the deny.
Dire's middle tower has been
I use the DD in fact to get a kill on Kezcute. Cox does make it
everything
very annoying, but they'll still get him nonetheless. They don't have the stuns for Mikoto though, so for Mikoto, he'll get out.
I mean, they've got, like, in terms of reliable stuns, they got 0. Nia, he's going to need to get off these perfect searing chain sleight of fist combos, but he doesn't even have a point in the chains just yet. Just realizing how ineffective it's going to be in the laning stage against the Morphling, and even then, like, he's still suffering. So, and by the time he starts to build it up, they're going to start to make these rotations. Actually using the morph onto the Elder Titan just to try and catch him out with the stomp there, not going to be enough. But he's going to have that Manta style at a pretty decent timing with how good the laning stage has gone from here on Mikoto. So we'll see what he's able to do with it. It's just going to make it even harder for him to die. And this is really why I was feeling, execution is going to matter so heavily. Because SMG, from my view, they did get on the losing end of the draft.
Yeah, well, we see it's just a very farm-intensive game one here. I mean, even the Doom's committed for the Midas, so looks like Boom are pretty content right now with all their cores just getting an immense amount of farm across the map. We'll probably see this move into a very fast-paced kind of mid-game timing, especially with that diffuser blade getting picked up. He's actually going to commit forward with the Remnant. Does have to kind of be careful because he's out of mana, but still actually has the haste and some bottle runes to be able to utilize here for the Ember Spirit.
He's a generous mid player, runs into the second cog just to make sure that there's no way that he can continue to be aggressive. Still though, that's the kind of play that he wanted to do. If you had one more person there on Boom, perhaps you could have even turned it around onto him, given that he didn't have any mana left. And, get a return kill. That would have been enormous, because right now he's still sitting at the bottom of all of the cores, and things aren't looking so great for him. But the fact that he was able to rotate, get through a kill, he hasn't died yet, but it's still coming at a cost of a lot of map control from them. You can see Boom here. They've rotated a few people up towards this top side. 4 heroes in this top lane. Doom is available. He's got his Midas picked up. I'm sure he's yelling to Dreamercell, "Don't touch this creep. Give me that Midas." There we go. Damn cores.
Dire's top tower is
Give me
under
all the
attack.
gold. That's the classic call life. They're so greedy.
Dire's structures are
Love it or you hate it,
Yeah,
Hyde.
Rupture.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're actually mass TPing in. Hyde's going to cancel his. With the waveform forward, Makoto. Replicates on cooldown. Wouldn't really be able to play around too much with the Bloodseeker or Mirana, so SMG force some rotations down bot. Let's see if they now have the numbers to move up top and defend. Rogi getting dived. Echo Stomp's able to set up now, so Ursa is in no man's land. Kezu's going to try and protect him with a hook shot, but it just sacrifices his own life here as SMG. A beautiful movement from them. They force heroes down bot, then they react and defend their own tier 1 tower top and getting a couple kills to their name too.
What did I say about KP? He is the king of baiting for the rest of his team. You know, he always wants to make sure he's, you know, going in a little bit too deep. He's doing it again, just making sure they use the dive. Now they know that they're free to make, perhaps if they want, an aggressive move here onto the Phoenix.
Under attack.
Ballsy move to be able to dive in here, considering you just saw the Icarus dive being used. If the communication's on point, they might have even gone for an aggressive move underneath that tower, considering they had 3 heroes here. But I suppose the Omni Slash had just been used to get the kill previously above that top tier 1 tower, so they're not going to do that.
Bot lane, another Rupture. I do have Rogi here, so at least they're going to be able to cancel a potential TP.
Use the Midas. Use the Midas. There we go.
Rupture's off now. He's also got Scorch Earth. Is that going to be enough movement speed? Neo swinging over. Couple remnants, slide as well to play with, but EpiZ, he's got no help right now, so he will get chased down. Unable to juke through the Blood Ride. It's actually still the Ember that picks up the kill there, so all in all though, you know, SMG, they've got 5 kills over the 2 from Boom, but Radiant, they're the ones with the 2,000 net worth lead. All their cores are still getting an immense amount of farm, and well, they've even got now an Aegis of Immortal to add to that.
That's the power of this Doom, right? It takes them so much to be able to kill him. He wasn't able to get the Devour off, which is unfortunate, but the Midas is on cooldown. He forced a 3-man rotation, kind of similar to what SMG did to the top side. And, you know, now this is going to allow Dreamer Cell as well as Makoto, who's already very hard to kill. He's actually going for the E-Blade build first here, so not wanting to go the Mantis style, just realizing the strength of the damage that they have super early on. It is all magic damage on the Morphling, though. He's got very little in terms of follow-up from the rest of his team.
And it's off.
Does he just feel like it's important to maybe have this save versus the Omni Slash and try and burst one of the supports down with the E-Blade?
I think it's good. Yeah, I think the save is negligible. I think his role is just, I need to kill Rogi every single team fight.
Sure. Speaking about Rogi, starting in a bit of a nook. In fact, Kezkut hasn't found him just yet. Great positioning from the Elder Titan. And now he shows the trap card. Drops the Echo Stomp, Blood Right follow-up. They do have to be careful how far they commit, but they've got a great ward on the backline, actually, that sees the Doom disengaging there. So a free one for Neo as he swipes that once again with the Sleight of Fist, and they should finally be able to claim this tier 1 tower down bot. We do see both the position 1s this game have opted for the Diffusal Blade.
I mean, I'm always a fan of anything that's going to lead to more aggressive Dota, right? And when you think about it, you don't have the highest mana pool on any of these cores realistically, you know, especially if you're able to lock in onto an Ember Spirit, then, you know, he can't use that that Fire Remnant to get away from a lot of these engagements, so maybe that's what they're thinking of, particularly on the Ursa. On the Juggernaut, I mean, anything that's just going to enable you to hit some of these slower stuns, these crowd control abilities, is always going to be nice. So maybe that's kind of their thought process there.
They're closing on any items here. E-Blade's going to be picked up shortly. BKB is going to be a bit far away for them to use this first Aegis for Dreamer Soul. We haven't really seen many aggressive movements. I don't think we've seen a Doom just yet as well this game, or Supernova. So they do have some big abilities ready to rock and roll with, but unfortunately it's SMG that they don't really have to worry about their cooldowns. Just a chain sets up for the arrow. An easy quick pick-off. Might cost Arthur his life. EpiZ, that's a great war stomp. Now we'll finally use the Doom. Controlling up KP, but Bloodseeker's going to be able to move pretty fast, and it's actually EpiZ that has to reset here. He's going to get punished. Neo committing on forward. He's still got the Arcane Rune to play with in this team fight. Let's see if they still want to continue on. Even mid one's going to show up. He's got the Omni Slash available. They're going to drop the Supernova very far in the backline of the river, but mid one can still turn his attention thanks to the Blade Fury. Doesn't have to worry about any control, and he's got the Omni Slash as well for the second life. Dream itself will end up falling. It's up to Makoto for the waveform TP out. Do they have a stunt? They do. Knee is there. Chains on point. Burnt mana, burnt health, and down he goes. Boom. A bad team fight for them, even though they had the Aegis advantage and all their team fight ultimates. Sees SMG come out on top there.
Yeah, it's a little bit of another thing where they're just going a little bit too aggressive with the timings that they have. You know, they were so close to being able to pick up that E-Blade on the Morphling, and that would have changed things around entirely. You know, you're able to get the earlier kill onto the Elder Titan. You're able to slow down KP's Bloodseeker onto you, but just get a little bit too eager considering how well the early game had gone for them. Maybe the Aegis giving them some false confidence and ends up costing them. And with that as well, the Mirana, I believe, has the Spirit Vessel coming out to her as well, so that's going to be really effective against this.
Ruptured up. They're actually going to commit onto the Doom instead. Sunray's there, but Epized's tanking up way too much damage. You see, I mean, they ruptured Dream Missile. They still don't have to commit to him, but it mainly just kites the Ursa, so they can deal with the rest of the heroes and then come back to Dream Missile afterwards if they ever choose to. And now that enables them to take a tier 1 tower mid, and they're still looking to play the aggressive maneuver on the map here, just moving to the triangle. Dream Missile needs help. We'll be okay there.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't think you're in a position to recommit against this. I think Boom just need to take a deep breath, just get your items. That's the big thing for them. It's a snowball effect that's happened since that team fight. You know, they got chased down again underneath their tier 2 tower just because they were wanting to fight into it again. You got to kind of cut your losses and say, look, there's a reason why we lost that team fight. Let's try and rectify it. Now Makoto's got the E-Blade. You've got 5 seconds until this Doom's going to be available again. Maybe wait until it's you know, level 2. BKB's still a while away for FBZ though, but you don't really have any other major items coming up through for the rest of your team, at least in the next couple of minutes. So I feel like you need to make a movement as a team that takes advantage of this E-Blade right now.
They're the ones actually looking to make the movement here. They got Spirit Vessel charge on our Fu, really bad all.
There
it's even Radiant.
They're smoking up.
Radiant are scanning.
Scan.
Not a Phoenix there though.
It'll connect. Can they drop any vision down? Kezkut's got Flare. Gotta be careful with the chain lockdown. Can Epized once again with a double War Stomp? And they've got the E-Blade Burst this time. Ember will lose his life. Even Dreamer Soul's gonna swing on over to catch the Arfu Miranda that was looking to scurry away with his own life there. But SMG, and with smoke on smoke, doesn't work out for them this time.
Yeah, I mean, that was just Boom taking advantage of their timings. You know, they went perfectly. They had these 3 people rotating through. You still have that tier 2 tower up on the bot side where the Ursa as well as the Phoenix were able to TP in and assist the rest of their team. But couldn't have gone more perfectly for them. You know, you burn one of these items that enables SMG to rotate in their smoke. You get a kill on Nia, who, you know, despite his poor laning phase, had... you know, he had a 4 kill streak, so more gold being fed over to Makoto, and that's going to allow him to go further towards his Manta style and allow him to play a lot more aggressive once he picks it up. Actually, they're keen to go again right away. No Doom though. Do they have detection?
They do. Sentry drop from Kezkut. KP unable to really cover the Elder Titan retreat there. Might still try and get his own rebuttal on the Clockwork killing with maxed out Blood Right. Also maxed out Blood Rage as well. The magical damage through the roof, I should say, the pure damage with the Blood Right.
There was a bit of a fake back perhaps happening here. Who are they going to try and go in on?
They don't have Dreamer Soul. Nor with the Doom ulti as well. Oh, minus on cooldown. Oh no. Oh, okay, he's got a camp.
You'll find it.
End of our... Whew.
See, it doesn't matter if you die now. You've done your job.
It just... Oh, it really does suck when you die, when you got Devour up and minus up as well.
Oh, he's gonna get caught, he will.
Arrow on point, Spirit Vessel's out. That was the item you were talking about to be clutched this game. To try and help deal with all the sustain. Makoto's still going to be able to find a kill here. Double barrel shotgun, immense amount of damage to burst through Rogi. You were saying this is going to be the important target. The chain stun is a long duration. Arthur's actually able to get the setup for the arrow there. It's another death here from Boom. See, Nia already level 15 has got that max out chain, so 4-second duration is perfect to be able to set up for the Mirana Sacred Arrow.
Yeah, he's talented into it as well. He realizes that, look, damage isn't where we're lacking. It's about the lockdown. So just wanting to get the extra second. That's going to make the Manta style even better once Makoto does pick it up. But again, I don't want to say that was anything bad by Boom, where they were just taking a fight where they shouldn't have. They weren't taking a fight. They were just kind of posturing around that T1 tower, realizing that SMG were there. But you know, even the fact that it's a 7-17 kill score, it's looking pretty damn even.
Yeah, it really is right now. It feels like either team can kind of come out on top through a couple of these fights. Really just, it comes down to the vision and who gets the jump first, as we see Dyer. And I'm going to relieve any of the pressure that they're looking to put on. They're smoking up. Might get pot from KezQ's positioning though. Is this going to be able to give Makoto enough time to get back to safety? Hook shot on mark. Oh, finds mid one. Very nicely done. Makoto still is in a tricky spot thanks to the rock shot. Spirit Vessel's out on top of him as well. The silence prevents the attribute shift. So they're going to end up losing Makoto, and they're still hunting for more. Hyde dives on cooldown. They're going to find a triple here for SMG. Another solid fight from them.
It's a triple that never should have happened. Also, I'm not sure if the stream can hear it, but for me, you sound like a pure robot. So, well, I didn't want to disrupt that team fight to talk about it, but that 3 kills that honestly shouldn't have happened because KezQ did his job. He popped it. It was daytime. They saw the people rotating through, and he could have very easily just waveformed into the trees and TP'd out. But instead, it's again another one of these snowball effects. You've got three heroes, that die, and that's the second rush as well. This is enormous if they're able to pick it up. Still feeling a little bit self-conscious that they've got the healing ward, so they're wanting to stick in here.
Well, they got that team fights. Yeah. Hyde. It's got Supernova, but you see they're pushing them away from SMG. KP. Well, he's not really doing as good of a job to push them away. It's an early Supernova hook shot, but look at the backline. Roger with the echo stop. He'll melt through Makoto. Fu will still cost his life. The Supernova ends up popping here, but Roshan is trying to run outside the pit. He's falling incredibly low. Really fine. Doom's about to enter on mid one as well, but the Aegis is going to get picked up from Dreamer Cell. Pops to BKB, looking to turn, but can't really lock onto a target. You're seeing the stuns are really lacking here from Boom, and it might cost them their life from the Ursa. The jumping falls around them once again. The chain's able to set up for the arrow. They'll dealt with the first life, and they should be able to deal with the second as well. There's nothing Dreamer Cell can do, and no help will come through. They might even find Hyde. I don't think KP can do anything to the Phoenix.
Radiant's top tower.
I don't think so either. And, well, it was good that Boom were able to make their rotation through. They take away the Aegis from SMG, which would have allowed them to just push forward with reckless abandon. They also took the shard Dios was able to pick up, but I believe the cheese went to SMG that time around. So we had to pop it in the middle of that team fight to make sure that they secured the kill, but still a better than ideal trade perhaps for Boom. Like, even though they're losing all of these objectives, even though they're behind by 13 kills on the kill score, they've still got a 3k lead.
Yeah, I guess this just comes down to the fact that you got a Doom on your team, so Devour's also always going to have just such incredible way to scale into the late game for the Doom, the Midas as well. So we are taking a look. The Dire Cores, in particular the Ember and the Bloodseeker, are kind of taking a bit of a hit right now. This is I mean, surprising though, because KP's 6-2 and 10, but I guess this is kind of the issue with the Bloodseeker as an offlane, right?
Now, I do have to say, you are again a real boy. You are no longer a robot for me, so that's always a plus.
Well, how long were we roboting for?
Probably like 3 minutes. It might have just been me.
I really hope it was just you. I was gonna say, I don't know what's going on. You know, I have to.
I don't know what's going on as well with these neutral items for Boom, because they have got a Vambrace, and KezQ does not have any item picked up. I mean, finally, someone spots it out. I mean, let's see if he's a good teammate and says, hey, I noticed there were only 4 items taken. Where's our 5th one? Let's get full value out of this one, boys.
Poor old Afu. That always sucks as a support. You drop that ward and then like in the span of 10 seconds it gets dewarded instantly. Yeah. Always doesn't feel like you've done your job.
As well, just giving some valuable experience away to the enemy's position 5. Kescuti's almost level 12, so giving that little bit of extra cast range as well as the stun coming through from Hookshot. He's actually going to nail it onto mid one, who was using the TP to join this top side of the map. So if they wanted to, Boom could try and make a play, but they're still feeling a little bit worrisome about it.
Hyde. It's going to be covered thanks to the Morphling nearby here, but they know the Ursa TP'd out. He also had to commit BKB to get the TP, but FBZ finds the Ember Spirit. It's going to be able to drop the Doom. They burst him down once again with the Adaptive Strike. Mid one's Omni Slash does 0 damage here, but the main issue is that Makoto is completely out of mana and has no way to get back to safety here. They'll spin him down, chase him down. One charge, waveform away, Makoto. No way he stays alive. Kezu's going to try and come on over and tank anything up if possible, but it's even going to cost the Clockwork his life. 3 down for Boom. They do still get 2 kills, but we're just seeing the trades continuing to not favor them.
Alright, so the robot was on stream. I'll say that much.
Oh,
but
no.
Don't worry. I've reassured chat that it'll fix.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, that was just another good fight, and it shows the effectiveness of this defusal, right? You've got so many
middle
heroes
tower
this
under
game that
attack.
rely really heavily on just having mana to have any kind of mobility in the team fight. You've got the Ursa, you've got the Morphling, you've got the Ember Spirit as well. So even though they were able to get the dieback onto the Mirana, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, the Mirana is a pos 5. You know, Arfu's life does not matter in this game, and so you have to consider what it actually means to be able to secure some of these kills. And with that mid one, again, it just feels like the mid one show this time around.
Yeah, it really does here. I mean, you see his item progression and also his KDA. 0, 7, 0, and 7, I should say. He's got Manta, Skadi, Diffuser Blade, working into the Butterfly. He is on the front line right now from SMG. They've got a great wall, but it's actually going to be FBZ that jumps in forward. Once again, you see the priority try and burst through the Elder Titan, but they're going to be careful about taking a team fight around the choke point here. Makoto falling incredibly low with the Rupture as well. He can't really disengage. He actually uses the Replicate on the healing ward. It's a great supernova on the backline as well with Hookshot 4. BKB piercing stun. Is it going to be enough? It's not. Mid one's able to bring it down thanks to the Blade Fury. Now, Boom, they have to retreat away. They'll lose Makoto. They'll lose Kescute as well, but still Dream Cell is looking to continue with the fight here. Urshock forward, hunting down mid one. Arfu unable to try and get it. Ready to body block. Dream Cell's use of the BKB is going to finally net them a kill on top of the Juggernaut. He'll also be able to find an extra triple kill for Dream Cell. He's going to be able to man fight Nia. Has to get back to safety. But 4 down from SMG. What a team fight coming out though from Radiant.
It was fantastic. That hook shot saved the team fight entirely. Doesn't make the egg go off. It still costs a buyback coming through from Hyde, but it just causes that full-on committal. You know, the spin wasn't used just to start hitting the egg, so he actually came out of the Blade Fury towards the end of it, and well, that was enough for them to be able to pick it up. Again, just showing the effectiveness of the Ursa once you are able to get in on top of these targets.
Haste!
And it's going to be a massive influx of gold given over to Dream Cell as well. I mean, we already see he's closing in on this Basher, about 2,000 gold in the backpack here for the Ursa, and this is going to be a ever so important way to also help protect that Supernova, which was an incredible hookshot from Clockwork.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it just provides a lot of BKB piercing lockdown. He's still level 11, you know, even after a couple of great plays, one to interrupt the Juggernaut TP when he was next to the tier 2 on the bot side, and then there to try and protect the egg. It's just been level 1, so he's needed to be in perfect position every single time, and he's been right there. If I was this team, I'd be like, you know what, just take a little bit of experience. Get your level 12. You've done your job.
He's pretty close to it right now. He's just like, he wanted that bot farm, and classic core is like, no, that farm's mine, brother. You can't get that at all. Absolutely no opportunity for you. I was trying to see who got the shot as well through that last Roshan fight. I know it's been a while. I believe it's the Ursa. Yeah.
Yeah, he got Aegis and Shard, and the cheese went to the Ember Spirit.
Sure. Yeah, and we see that Right, Nia, he's committing forward for the Lincolns as his next item here. So this is going to force Doom to... It's actually going to make it pretty awkward here for Doom now, because you really want that War Stomp, because you don't really have a way to lock them in place. But you might then have to go for like a Purge or something to get rid of the Lincolns. But then it kind of takes away from the capability for Doom to initiate with the War Stomp and control multiple heroes.
I wonder with the holding onto the Psychic Headband as well. I mean, is that just for a little bit of extra blink range, considering, you know, they've got a lot of good information providing spells right now on SMG's side. And it's another...
FBZ again. He finds mid one. That's such an important target. Look at the damage. Mid one gets melted. Roji will get melted as well. 2 down from SMG. Another great start. Hook shot's on point. Can they chain lock him down? Nice arrow stops the cogs. Now he's going to actually try and look to the kill before he disengages. Now the Remnant's going to be up in a couple seconds. It might be a couple seconds too long though. Dreamer Cell. He's starting to take over this game on the Ursa. Mega kill streak. 7, 3, and 4 for the KDA. And Boomer continuing to accumulate a net worth lead.
Yeah, I mean, after those DPC results, Dreamer Cell, he's one of those heroes that just can't bear to lose right now. He's putting in a lot of work, and honestly, a lot of it comes off of the back of FBZ. You know, we saw there the extra blink range allows him to get that hoof stomp in. The Doom laid down perfectly onto mid one, and it feels like if he gets doomed, if he gets taken out of the fight, it's happened twice now. The entire structure of your team just crumbles. You know, it requires so heavily on him at least being able to survive the very start. They're going to catch out KP as well here.
The Ursa taunt is so annoying as well, and now even Arfu mid. See how careful he has to be positioning wise, but this is a lot of real estate going to the favor of Boom. They're actually going to drop the Earth Splitter. FBZ just gets the BKB off before the arrow and he'll be okay.
He'll be fine. They were trying to go for the Omni/TP in with mid one, but not going to be enough. And, well, that's going to leave them with some increased confidence as well. I mean, I'm liking this by Dreamer Cell. He realizes that, look, a big part of SMG's effectiveness is being able to lock me down. He's obviously already got the Enrage, so he's going to be able to get out of the this searing change from that. He's going to be able to tank up the Silence as well and not really worry about it all too much, just because you can... you could use the Enrage beforehand, which is always nice. But now he's also going into the Satanic, so an extra way to dispel something away. And they've got no offensive dispels right now on SMG's side to take that away. So he can even use it without the BKB. A lot of the time you need to use BKB and Satanic together. Not with this lineup.
Oh boy. A DD as well for Morphling. Yeah, they didn't have any bottles, unfortunately. They have any smokes,
with his BKB
though.
being delivered too. They do on KezQ.
And Refresher. Okay, this is a big timing. See what they want to do with it, because Ember's also a little bit away from the Lincolns, and they are kind of split right now. KP's away from the team down bot.
He doesn't even have a TP as well, so if they catch him out, this is huge. They're just going to go straight into Roche. The arrow helping them out, actually.
Oh, this is where Arfu's able to shine with the Elder Titan, but he can't even delay it at all. Aegis, Refresher Shard, Cheese picked up, and if he's in again, how does he find mid one once again in a team fight? They'll try and rupture him up, but he's got a double doom, chucks that out on top of Nia, and both the cores are gone. EpiZ is just taking over this game on the Doom. We've seen previously through other games from different plays on Dooms through the DPC, and now we're seeing it in this game one. Some key targets that Doom's catching out here, and they're still trying to find some more pickoffs. Roji, he's going to get bursted down from the shotgun build.
He is. They're just giving over the cheese to make sure that this push can continue. You know, Makoto, he's going to... Will he use it straight away? I mean, he might just want the ability to just stick around. Maybe even fortify. No, I've got a fortify to stop the push through. I suppose just feeling confident of the fact that, look, we've only used the buyback on the Elder Titan so far. We're going to be able to buy back on the Ember Spirit and the Juggernaut. Can they even buy back on the Ember Spirit and the Juggernaut? Throwing in Morphling on the front line. They know that there's no way they're going to take him down.
Yeah, I think they're okay with giving up just one lane, because you got tier 1 still bot and also tier 2 top, so... And you can see how well they're able to delay this though, with the Bloodseeker, with the Elder Titan. It just makes it so difficult right now for Boom, but nonetheless, they do get a full set of barracks in the mid lane, and once again, just continuing to get more real estate, continuing to get more gold funneled into the banks of these heroes.
Yeah, FBZ's popping off this game, as he's done for, honestly, like the past 2 years for this lineup. He has just been the rock-solid, consistent player all throughout, and I mean, the fact that one of his best heroes is in the meta now is just an added bonus. Even Phoenix has nearly got the BKB picked up for himself, so you're not going to have that arrow, you're not going to have that silence, you're not going to have that echo stomp that's going to be able to interrupt your sun rays in a lot of these team fights. So the rich will get richer with a lot of this increased team fight effectiveness coming through from Boom. It does, again, rely heavily on how these team fights are beginning, but I mean, if it continues as it has been, I can't see any reason. Oh, Raji?
Wait, what just happened? KezQ, aggressive forced off the ET down to an awkward positioning now with the supernova.
But
how do you protect the bash on the first hit? No, Dream SL! He's locked in the Juggernaut. They baited the supernova. It's going to cost mid one his life, and it's probably going to cost KP his life as well. A BKB pop just so he can eat the arrow, but Makoto's going to blink so he can follow one forward. There's no escape for Roger's Elder Titan as once again, Boom will take another successful skirmish, leading that into more objectives.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Even I got baited by that egg. I was like, I don't know about this one, but just relying on their good vision that they had at the start of that team fight, and obviously respecting the strength that they had, not even losing the Aegis. You've got the Satanic built up for Dreamer Cell now, so I don't think there's too much that can take him down. Oh, Afu, can we get away?
Not like this. Okay.
Oh, he's been on point with his arrows. Like in the middle of team fights, a lot of the time where you might just panic, run around like a headless chicken.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
But it's still probably not looking like being enough. 24k net worth lead, 38 minutes in, and they're showing no signs of stopping.
And what do you do? FBZ, he's got triple Doom potentially. He'll use one, but he's got Refresher Shot, he's got Refresher Orb, he's even got a Arcane Blink as well. And they're just gonna hit tier 4 towers, SMG. You've got no buyback on Nia. And Juggernaut, I mean, it's gonna be up in 5 seconds, but...
Is it gonna matter?
I don't know. Yes, you've got buyback capability.
The answer is no, in my opinion. You've still got 2 dudes.
See what they can do. Rupture's out. Mid one instantly trying to jump the backline to deal with the Doom. But he's got a lot of armor, and Dreamer Cell's also taking up the Omni Slashes. They'll chuck up the Doom. There's no lockdown at the moment here. So mid one should be able to get back to safety. He needs to get back in the well really fast. No, he's not going to tick out there. But, I mean, still the throne's exposed in Makoto. He's just going to work. Going to be protected thanks to the Sun Ray. They do have another hero back alive and ready to battle it out, but it's not going to matter here. They'll even drop the Supernova. Just forces them to turn their attention away from defending the base. And it's going to allow Boom to be able to take game 1 here in this best of 2 round robin.
It does, and you know, it felt like towards the end of that one, that wasn't the cleanest fight by any stretch of the imagination by Boom, but it was just the weight of that net worth advantage just really showing its effectiveness. And at the end of the game, was FBZ on the top of the net worth? I kind of feel like he was. Maybe that death at the very end caused him to suffer a little bit, but he was at least before that.
Yeah, he was.
No,
he was
he
on
still
top.
was.
Yeah.
So, again, just coming in clutch again. So many great Dooms. Not being punished for this much more passive build where he goes for the Devour and the Midas, and well, it ends up costing SMG. They were good with a few of their rotations coming through, but the strength of the draft at the end of the day is almost always going to win out. And basically across this entire league, these teams are so damn even that a lot of the time it will come down to the draft.
Yeah, they really, really are even. And we just saw there's some incredible ways for Boom to really start these fights. It really came down to what it felt like the Doom X factor time and time again through a lot of other games that we see through Dota and in particular though this game so important from EpiZ. Those initiations were on point with the ultimates and just getting them on Ember and Jug way too many times here, which cost SMG. And we I think just Boom, massive props to them for how they were able to execute this game. One here, and well, it nets them a victory in the best of 2, and we're going to be able to see if they're able to continue with that momentum in the second game, or if SMG can even up the series, but we will find out after a short break.